Welcome to Politics of Australia-Asia Relations. My name is Diane Colman and I'm coordinating the unit this semester. I've been teaching at Western for about 15 years now and still always look forward to the start of a new teaching session. I especially enjoy engaging with students on the important issues that affect world politics in general and Australia's vital relations with the countries of Asia in particular. I certainly hope you enjoy the unit as much as I love teaching it. This first lecture is a brief introduction to the unit to let you know what is in store. The aim of this lecture is to gain a familiarity with the main issues and themes of the unit. We will cover the learning objectives for the unit and I'll go through the assessment tasks so you know exactly what is required. All the details of the unit can be found on Views. You should go through this carefully each week so you understand the requirements of the unit. Make sure you bring any questions you may have to class. If you need something clarified, you can bet your bottom dollar that heaps of other students don't quite get it either. A textbook has been prescribed for this unit. It is edited by Daniel Baldino, Anthony Langlois and Andrew Carr and is called Australian Foreign Policy, Controversies and Debates. It's available at the campus bookstore and it is essential that you pick one up before classes start. There will be readings from the book each week, which will be supplemented by readings available on Views for 2 of the weeks. The book is presented in the form of an academic debate on the various topics that we will be covering in the unit. This is a really interesting format as you get 2 very different yet robust viewpoints on the issues, sometimes completely opposing each other. The aim of the unit is to help you to develop skills and knowledge that will assist you in your future career in the international arena, especially focusing on Australia's policies towards its Asian neighbours since the end of the Second World War. Through your learning in the unit, you will be able to identify the main factors that influence Australia's relationships with the major countries in the region, specifically the importance of our relationships with Japan, China, India and Indonesia. Finally, you'll gain the ability to put this knowledge into practice by being able to take a clear and logical position on a major contemporary issue affecting Australia's relationship with countries in Asia. We've set up a dedicated Facebook page for everyone interested in international relations. It is called the Western Sydney University Asia Pacific Club, and staff and students post stuff about what is happening in our patch. You'll find interesting articles, discussions and information on exchange opportunities, as well as conferences, newsletters and whatever is going on at WSU that relates to the Asia Pacific. Just put in a friend request and we will add you to our page. There are 3 assessment tasks for this unit. Details can be found under Assessments on Views. Task 1 is a take-home test. The test will cover topics from weeks 1 to 4, which cover Australia-Asia relations from the post-war period right up until contemporary times. Specific details of the test will be released on Monday of week 5, and you will have the week to complete it. It is worth 30% of the overall mark for this unit. Assessment Task 2 is a journal where you will provide a critical analysis of set readings on Australia's specific bilateral relations with the selected Asian countries. Each week, after reading the book chapters and articles specified in the journal, you should critically analyse the texts in terms of Australia's role as a middle power in the Asia-Pacific region. This critical analysis is worth 30% of the overall mark. The major task for this unit, worth 40% of the overall mark, is the simulation. This will be run over 2 weeks in week 12 and 13. It is a group task where your group will work together on an important contemporary issue affecting Australia's relations with Asia. Groups will participate in policy formulation and advice on a diplomatic issue and reflect on the strengths of their position over these 2 weeks in a simulation exercise. It's kind of fun, but serious at the same time. You'll also need to submit a short position paper in the final week of semester, which you prepare individually. All tasks must be submitted in order to pass the unit. Don't worry, I'll tell you more about each of the tasks as we get closer to the due dates. Okay, so now just a quick survey of the big issues in Australian foreign policy today, which shows us what a broad range of topics are covered in this discipline. Firstly, there's climate change, either the greatest moral challenge facing the world today, or just a beat up, depending on your political point of view. There's the tensions over control of the South China Sea, particularly China's dispute with a number of its neighbours and the conflict with the US over control of navigation channels. Regional security is also threatened by the continuation of North Korea's nuclear weapons program in direct contravention of international norms on nuclear non-proliferation. Then there's the international economy, where foreign policy choices are vital to Australia's economic interests. The balancing act between Australia's economic and strategic interests also points to a dilemma in foreign policy making, where Australia stands between our two most important partners as great power rivalry in the Asia-Pacific emerges between the United States and China. These are some of the issues that we will be considering in the course of the semester as we take a closer look at contemporary Australia-Asia relations in their historical perspective. To complete your introduction to the unit, you should now read the introductory chapter of the textbook. When reading this chapter, you should think about the importance of critically analysing the issues, arguments and policies of both government and opposition, as well as commentary on these. Remember, it is not always necessary to present a balanced view, as not all opinions are equal. What do the authors say about this? Why can't all opinions be considered to have equal merit? The authors also discuss the complexity of foreign policy, where no single answer ever presents itself as the obvious one. What are some of the things they point towards that have fueled the intense debate on many foreign policy issues over the decades since the Second World War? That's the end of the first lecture for this session. I'll leave you with this final point about Australia's place in the Asia Pacific. In 2015, Australia won the Asian Cup soccer final after defeating South Korea in extra time. Australia actually hosted the Asian Cup, so the victory was even sweeter as it was on home turf. More recently, my friend's husband, the goalie for Perth Glory, just went off to Qatar to play in the Asian Champions League. So we're well and truly locked into regional football. Does this mean that Australia is now accepted as being part of Asia? Have we embraced our geography at last and moved to ensure our future in the region is secured? I'm running a survey to see what those with the most at stake in the vision for Australia's future think. That is, of course, what you young people all think about it. The question is a simple one. Is Australia an Asian nation? Just click on the link below to have your say. I look forward to reporting the results in class this week. See you all then. Cheers.